What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Another edition of Holy Try Football Podcast Week 2 preview. Week 1 is in the books. We made it through. It's me, Awa, coming to you from the beautiful state capital, the blue state of the Commonwealth, Pennsylvania, to my west, D-Berg. What's up?
Not loving the blur.
I like it.
Looks like I'm missing part of my face here. But other than that, I'm doing all right. I beat the heat, I think. The worst of the
Survive
heat.
in advance. Survive in advance.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been rough. Can, to my east, what's up?
Man, it does not feel like football weather out there, but I think we're gonna be breaking here soon, and excited to get things underway. It was a week 1 that had some interesting happenings. A lot of, as we're used to in college football, you never know where it's going to come from, but you know it's going to come. There's some surprises, and excited to talk about it today.
Yeah, one of those surprises was not in Laramie. We knew that was going to happen.
Looked bleak there at the beginning. Blistering start for the Red Raiders, but wow, to AY's point, unsurprising that they settled in.
Yeah, Peasley.
Dramatic.
Peasley's like Burmeister from Vatech. Can't really throw, but he can run. And, he led the charge back. So we guess week 2. Let's recap week 1 a bit here. Obviously, the main story dominating everything. Well, until Clemson laid the egg on Monday. We'll start with Clemson. That was most recent. Didn't look good. It looked better than I guess what the final score says. That's for sure. But
because of the turnovers,
they just did not execute. Yeah.
It's
They moved the ball. Okay.
BT Potter snuck back on there after his blunder in the Orange Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Speaking of kickers, you see right before the half, they said their kickers has ranged from 70.
I did see that.
they kind of brought him out. They were kind of pumping him up for like a 67-yarder, and then they threw like a 15-yard corner out and went to halftime.
I still can't get over the stat from the second half. They didn't punt or score a single point.
That's remarkable.
It's next to impossible, I feel like.
Yep. Certainly out of what you would come to expect from Clemson, even in this lean-ish period, the last couple of seasons. But
now, do you think this is? I mean, in the ACC, no offense, Dan, we can't leave them for dead yet. But obviously, they're not what they used to be. But what do you think here? Is it just a slow start here? Do you think they'll get it cranking? Obviously, they still have some talent. They got some good running backs. I don't know if they have what it takes outside right now, but I don't know. It's there's all the hype with Lincoln Riley. I certainly bought into it. Klubnik took over last year. You thought he'd take a step here as a full-time starter, getting all the reps in the offseason. I don't know. I really don't know what to make of it. I'm extremely interested, but it wouldn't surprise me if they came out and beat Florida State in a couple weeks at home.
All I'll say through one game is there is clear, and obviously, again, just alluded to
overreaction galore. Overreactions.
Well, no, I think there's legitimately a monkey on their back, whatever that is, the last couple seasons, and it's carried into this year. And obviously, they were able to come back and win the ACC last year with Klubnik leading the charge after, not the best DJU start in that championship game. The Orange Bowl was weird. But yeah, it's just that's all. That's the only way I can put it right now until we see how the rest of the season plays out. There's clearly an elephant on their back, or a monkey on their back.
Could be an elephant.
Could be an elephant. I certainly hope there's an elephant on their back.
I mean, I'll leave it with I guess the final score didn't look good. The in-game was better than the final score indicated, but it still
wasn't good.
Wasn't good. So if you can wrap your head around that inception, and then I know it's a new season, I try and separate. I think college is more season carryover than NFL for sure.
Yeah, there's more continuity.
But if you look at last year, how they ended with Notre Dame and South Carolina and Tennessee and now Duke, we're not used to,
years ago.
We're not used to this Clemson, losing 4-7 now.
Yeah.
So I don't. That's a weird one.
I mean, the way they played, like you said, it wasn't as ugly as this 28-7, but they certainly weren't. They certainly looked like they belonged on the same field with Duke. Meaning,
yeah, agreed.
They look like an 8-win team.
Yes,
9-win team.
it wasn't as bad, but it wasn't as good. If you know, it wasn't as
Well,
bad.
exactly. They're not Clemson of old. That's for sure.
So there's hats off to Duke.
Yep. Elko, that's your guy right there.
Elko, good dude, good coach. Now that game, end of September, a lot bigger for the Irish, but a lot of games to go before that. Let's go back a night to Sunday, FSU LSU. Whew.
That was an interesting. I mean, they had the lead, or they were behind Florida State, behind going into the half. It was two stands deep in their end zone, right?
Yep.
Well, at least one on the first drive, and then another one right later on in that half.
Yeah, it was definitely deep in FSU territory. I can't remember off the top of my head how
The first
how
one
far was around the 20 maybe.
The first one was like first thing they got a first.
Oh yeah, that was there at the 1. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
they
was
had like
that
four
was
shots from the 1 or 5 shots from the 1.
And it lost like 15 yards. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was another one, at least another one. So I mean, it wasn't people, and not to say that they didn't dominate them and they didn't, end up running away at the end, but it could have easily been LSU up 10 points, maybe more, in the first half.
Yep.
But credit to Florida State, they made the adjustments. Coleman, I mean, how good does that look, especially when you pair it with their ACC preseason favorite mates in Clemson, who doesn't use any transfers, right? They got this guy who plucked him right out of the portal from Michigan State, and he comes up in his first game, gets 3 touchdowns. It's awesome to see. You knew that. I think I had mentioned it in at least some of our previews when we talked about LSU. They brought all these guys in for the transfer portal to start at corner, and it definitely didn't look very good. This guy, they were picking on 22, the transfer from Syracuse all day, all night long, and I think they'll be fine. I think they'll still be pretty good. I think, but also puzzling. Harold Perkins, don't know what they're doing with it. It's kind of maybe a delayed Micah type of trajectory, right? They just let him free and just let him run last year, and now they're trying to make him play a little bit of linebacker, and it seems like he's not picking it up, or at least he's more constrained now as a playmaker.
Yeah, funny. You mentioned now in these 2 games. You mentioned Clemson's receivers, not what we're used to, and LSU's DBs, not what we're used to. You're a young Fortuna who said that today on the internet.
Oh.
Those
Can't say I listened to that one, but have listened to other talking heads, and maybe we're parroting all the same stuff.
Yes.
It's an echo chamber over here in the college football media world.
It is. Yeah, I mean, it was just a fun game being over at FSU Michaels, rooting for the same side with everyone. Is fun.
That's good.
He had to wait longer than I'm sure he expected to, but
yeah,
the worm has finally turned back.
He's not the most patient, and
there were some gross decisions there with Travis, some questionable ones. He did get it.
Yeah, the interception was bad that he threw in the first half.
He's we'll see how he goes. I can't say that I'm fully bought in yet, because I didn't think that LSU would be that good this year either, or they'd be around the similar that they were last year, 9-10 wins. Not playoff caliber like some were saying.
Yeah,
I was surprised to see that final.
Yeah, I'm not really going to shift my my thoughts going forward much.
On either one.
On either side.
Yes, agreed.
Either side. I guess wrapping a bow up on these two again with points from both. Dabo comparing his offense to Ferentz, not being good.
That was okay. That was fake.
Oh, it was?
I don't know.
Maybe
it was real. Could have been real.
Well, I know what was real. I think the next one was real with Brian Kelly saying we're going to go there and beat their butt, and then they lost. But I mean,
he says it's fake.
Yeah, like what? So
I can't believe he's saying he never said that. That's hilarious.
The Ferentz one, yeah, I think there's some editing there. But the Kelly one, I thought I saw that earlier in the week, but maybe
He said, "No, I don't know where you guys got that. That I never said that. You know me. I wouldn't say
Yeah,
that."
I guess I can parlay this into something else that was fake. Along the old, the Buffaloes train now was just Dion going at everyone with receipts.
You got? Are you a believer
Scorched
now?
earth.
And the one where
he's
and the
he
one where he
is-
goes at Ed Werder. And for what? What
But
Werder?
I heard that was just playful. Like him and Ed go back a long way.
I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore now.
Because you're right. You're right. No, I've heard the Ed Werder one because him and Ed Werder know each other for a while, and
he used
I think
to-
it was just ribbing him a little
I mean,
bit.
he's covered the Cowboys for a
Yeah,
million years.
exactly.
But
So
yeah.
I think they go back to when he played, and he was ribbing them. I think.
But regardless, whichever one you like to say, him just keeping receipts and going at everyone.
Oh my god!
You win one game. Spoiler alert: I'm taking the points with Nebraska.
Oh yeah, sure. No, Rule's gonna win here. Rule's gonna take one look at that offense, and he's gonna.
Rule knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Well, I can't go back on my policy of picking. What did I say last week? I'm going to pick Colorado every game because at least they get the wins if they do achieve. So I can't go back on that. Yeah.
Look, I mean, the game was fun to watch. It was, TCU was a mess. Colorado, to give them credit, they kept coming back and hanging in there. But talk about overreaction. This is the epitome.
Yeah.
It's fun though. I saw there's more bets on the Buffalo's Huskers game than I think all but one NFL game.
Really?
Jeez Louise.
And I think it was Bet Online or one of those put out spreads for all future Colorado games, just because they're getting so much attention.
Right.
I am excited for it. I'm excited. And they're going to be revved up. $500 get-in price over there. I've got a coworker. Her son is a freshman there at Colorado, and he did not get on. Apparently, everything crashed when he tried to get season tickets, and they weren't ready. And he's been complaining, and apparently he's asked his mom for money to try to buy a ticket for this home opener. And she's like, "Oh, you'll find a way. You'll find a way."
It's wild to me. My thoughts on this as of now, I'd say, because of how far removed from his playing career Dion is. Like these are all old. Obviously, people around our age remember him at the
barely
back
remember.
end of his career.
I remember him wearing number 37 for the Ravens.
That's what's wild to me about this
crazy
widespread popularity. Like if he had just retired, say in 2015, and all of a sudden was doing it. I mean, he probably, I think he last played in 2002 maybe for the Ravens. Last played baseball 2001 ish.
Like his biggest,
it's pretty nuts though.
Played for 3 baseball teams.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like his biggest impression is probably on people 5 to 10 years older than us, right?
Yep.
If not older
exactly.
than that.
And up.
And up.
I don't know.
But I'm excited to see it. Listen, I love it. I love all the side stories and everything. That's better than the games for me.
Right? You love everything about college football besides the game. Or if not besides the games, but if you had to rank it, the games would be like 4th for you.
Oh yeah.
If that.
It'd be like side stories, recruiting, anticipation, or / off season, then the games.
Yep. What other ones do we want to touch on? Dan, you were right about Washington. Good job. Very nice.
Yeah.
We'll see. I think I'm loving all the Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter love because it's going to be all the more sweeter when Penix goes and takes on the hardware.
That's true. They'll split the votes. Don't worry. They'll split the votes. You'll get that.
Huskies look good.
I was right.
Of course, as I was making a point.
As you're what?
As he was making a point.
As I was making a point, it cut out. Could you guys hear me or no?
No.
You did. You froze, but the audio came through.
Yes.
Oh, okay, got you.
Got it.
Point made.
Point made. UNC, Mac Brown, AY was right there, and they got, I think, half the number of sacks they got all of last year in their game against South Carolina this past Saturday. So good on them. It looks like some market improvement there. News out of UNC today: their projected number one receiver Tez Walker again ruled ineligible on his appeal. So that's another blow. That sucks. It's stupid. NCAA is stupid, but what do we? It sucks. We say this over and over again, but unfortunate for him and the Heels. What else do we have here? Florida. How much of that Florida Utah game did you guys watch?
Oh gosh, I mean that was
disgusting.
I was certainly paying attention to what was going on, but there wasn't that much going on. So
I think it was just really seeing how unprepared Billy's Napier's team was.
I mean, it's bad. Yeah, that's
just numerous procedural penalties. Two guys with number 3 on punt return when they could have gotten the ball back, and that it concludes in a touchdown drive from Utah.
Who would ever do that? Who would ever put 2 guys with the same number? I saw that joke made amongst Pitt Twitter. Who would ever make that mistake of putting 2 guys with the same number? Yep. And they got talk about they got Utah made them pay for all of those. It felt like.
Mm-hmm.
So good job by Whittingham.
Good job by him. Really, he didn't do much else otherwise. I mean, they won 24 to whatever. It was a classic ho-hum Utah win.
I mean, yeah, they scored in the first play. Besides that, didn't do a lot.
You guys have anything else you want to touch on?
Oregon, Oklahoma scored a lot. UCLA.
I can touch on Penn State really quickly. I won't dive too deeply in here. Running game really didn't need to lean on them. Drew Aller looked impressive. You could see the zip on his arm. Only one of his passes went over 40 yards, and that was that second play of the game or second throw of the game for him. Otherwise, you could actually see the velocity and the intermediate and short range throws. That was nice to see. Defense, I think they'll get their feet under them as the year goes on. You remember last year, only had like 3 tackles for loss and gave up 31 points to Purdue on the road, albeit against a better offense, I think. But this offensive line is going to be probably the second or third best offensive line they play all year. So don't put your nose up at that. They've got a number of draftable guys up there on the line, especially interior, which matches up perfectly against Penn State's weakness. And so, yeah, there's improvement to be made, but I'm not too worried about it. Something to keep a lookout on going forward. A couple of guys that were out. Omari Evans, he warmed up but did not play. Number 5, a receiver, which you saw McClain step up in his absence. But we'll see. He was at practice the other day. We'll see if they give him a little bit of run at Delaware. Seems like he's dealing with some nicks. Daquan Hardy and Amin Vanover, 2 guys that did not play in the first game. And Daquan Hardy is a significant contributor. But Amin Vanover expected to take a step forward this year. Both of them seen on the scout team at practice this past year, this past week. So looks like some disciplinary issues there. Something to keep an eye out going forward. But otherwise, ho-hum, I don't have an issue. Obviously, if I were a Penn State fan, I wouldn't have an issue either with the score with 6 seconds left. But that's just me.
It's one of the many reasons why I hate all those guys, all the college football coaches.
But yeah, a cover.
And it's genius because I think Franklin has now mastered that because it was smart to put in the backups.
Oh yeah, he did it. Yeah.
It enabled the
ability to
you would think is counter, but yeah.
Listen, I've got no issue. These guys are going in there. They want to impress their girlfriends just as much as the starters do. You put the second string in there. Why are you?
You're overthinking it so much. He did it for one reason. It's because all the boosters said we were taking you to cover, so you go cover. It's that simple.
Yep.
And if you think
that is what they do, yeah.
That money goes back into his pocket somehow, whether it's getting him recruits for NIL money or it goes into his contract.
All roads lead to score the touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, you can say everything you want about getting backups in or getting so-and-so the first touch of this. No, it's all about Franklin keeping the boosters happy.
Yeah,
And
So
all those
roads
coaches,
all
Stoops
roads
did it.
lead to stop them. Stop them.
Sto-
Stop them.
Stoops was even more egregious. Did you see theirs?
I did not. What did he do?
Wishnev came on this week and was complaining. He said they were running hurry up. Up 20, they're up 23, and the spread was 24.5 or something like that. And they broke a 30-yard touchdown run with about as much time as Penn State had.
At least they didn't kick the field goal.
Maybe it was more than that. Maybe the spread that might have been, maybe it was like, I think it might have been 26.5 or something to that effect, but he guaranteed the cover. Yeah, but all those guys do it. That's what I mean. Like, it's just one of the many things to hate about all those guys. My coach
so it makes it even more peculiar when Neil Brown goes out there and complains about it. And bitches about it.
Well, no, look at how he was doing it. The last play I watched, I did see the highlights of the cover, which were fantastic. It was fantastic. The cheer of the crowd to boot. And I'm sure there were some, invested patrons still there seeing if they scored that. But if you look, because I watched, it was in tandem with that North Carolina, South Carolina game. So that was weirdly it was North Carolina jumped out, and then Scar would have these opportunities and they just couldn't capitalize on it. So it was like not that close of a game, but if Scar had done one or two more things. So it was a very odd watching arrangement is the point I'm making, because the Ohio game was delayed. And then nothing else was really worth watching at that time. But anyway, you could tell when Penn State was up, 24-7 with maybe 11 minutes left. It was gutless on Neil Brown's part to not be. It was like running the ball.
Yeah, they were still
right.
Still playing the.
It's like, what do you do? You're down 3 scores with 11 minutes left. Why are you running the ball? And I understand they were kind of limited in what they could do.
Yeah,
and then obviously it all culminated in that ridiculous 4th down attempt, where they brought the backup quarterback in, and he was going to try and throw it to Garrett Green, I think, and then they just got tackled 10 yards.
Yeah. Oh my God, that play was ridiculous.
But then Penn State was up 31-7, right?
Yes.
Right? They scored there. So then he was going, and they obviously scored the touchdown. They were throwing the ball more on that drive than they were on the previous drive.
Well, they were running it effectively because they were and throwing it effectively because they were playing against second-team defense at that point.
Yeah.
And
my point being is the play calling was kind of out of. You would think he'd be more aggressive throwing the ball when your outside chance is scoring with maybe you cut it to 10 with 8 or 9 minutes left, and then at least.
And to be clear, I do not have an issue with the 2-point conversion. He was 2 scores away.
Oh no, yeah, there was nothing wrong with that. I didn't. Well, the thing I don't know, we haven't seen. Hopefully, we didn't bankrupt. What the hell's his name? Don Play. That obviously ruined the under that I recommend.
Oh yeah, you're.
But I did get the holy
under.
tripod,
Exactly.
so it was.
Yeah.
I was in a win-win situation.
Yep.
With that. But anyway, yeah,
Yes.
it's all those guys do it. So it's one of the things you just accept it for what it is. There's no need to defend it because of what AY said.
Well, there's a need to defend it now because Neil Brown went out and bitched about it, and then also the numerous other Stooley.
Oh yeah, we can't. He is still in the same category of head coaches that I can't stand. So it's a wash for me at least. And Chip Kelly
the early line is out for that game, for your game.
I did not know.
For
what it hit by 2.5 or something.
I think it's 2. Let me see. Yeah, it's 2. Pitt.
That's around what it was. Maybe it was a pick 'em before, but yeah, there's nothing to glean from my game. But Chip Kelly is what I'll say pissed me off the most out of any coaches when he made the comments he did about hope you're selling more commercials. You talk about the pot calling the kettle black. Listen, just keep counting your $6+ million a year or whatever you make. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear from you about anything when it comes to this because you're part of the problem as well.
He does suck ass.
I mean, again, it's all those coaches. I can't stand any of them at this point.
So you have nothing. You and AY, do you have anything to say about Wofford or Tennessee State?
Nope. No, nothing. Pitt wasn't a super crisp performance, and
no.
Wofford.
I saw Carl.
What's that?
I saw Carl firing back at some Twitter people that were complaining about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was whatever. They didn't
I
lose.
love
That's
Off Duty Carl. Off Duty Carl is amazing. He's
Carl came on and get his top 10 Whippy players for 2024. It was riveting. Let me tell you. No bias or anything.
All right.
So, anyway.
Yeah. Well, let's turn the page then. I say it all the time. The best thing about a long weekend and a long football weekend is a short week on the flip side. The best thing about a 3-day weekend is a 4-day work week, right? And we are here already at Thursday. And we got football on tonight, tomorrow night, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and back around the merry-go-round we go. We're week 2. Excited about this week.
Tell no lies.
Tell no lies. A slate that has one premier matchup, but a lot of nice little appetizers. I feel it's like an hors d'oeuvres type of slate we got.
You both seem more appetized to keep up with the food analogy.
I mean, there's no
more appetized than I was about these weird matchups, other than Ohio or Alabama, Texas.
Well, there's fewer filet mignons, but you got a lot of good hors d'oeuvres going on here.
I'll get it out there. My game I'm most excited for, not I guess
Irish
outside of my own, is clearly James Madison.
Virginia, the one true team of Virginia.
Yeah.
This
Duke's giving a touchdown.
I'm just gonna say it bluntly. If the player from Virginia didn't die in the offseason, James Madison would go in there and roll them. But it could be some weird mojo.
It's time for them to rally here.
So I'll be intrigued by that. 6.5 lean the dogs, the JMU dogs, so the favorites, but the Dukes. Let's get started with what we teased earlier. I didn't tease it. Well, I guess I told you where I'm going, and we know where Dan's going because he has to stay true to himself. Nebraska at Colorado. Buffs laying 3 now. I remember seeing reports on what it was. Is this a 10-point swing now from a week ago? I
did not see what.
Yeah, and that was. It could be 12. I feel like at one point they had Nebraska 9. I think, or maybe I heard somewhere opened Nebraska 9. Which would make sense given the TCU was giving 21.
Yeah, okay.
Wouldn't be the worst, and you wouldn't think there was much of a home field advantage for Colorado, but that's all changed now.
It's all changed. We're looking at 3 now in this renewal of the rivalry. They didn't play last year, did they? I think this is the start of the home and home.
I don't think they did because Nebraska was really bad last year, and that would have been a win for them.
They have played recently.
That's true. They were 1-11. You're right. You guys, I think we're of same and sound mind here. Rule is going to come in here. It's going to be him against the world. Everybody's going to be watching intently on Dion, and he's just going to be plugging away here. Not to say that Minnesota's offense was all that good, but their defense took care of business. They came to play, and I like Rule here to come out fired up, especially in a rivalry game. But I don't know. I think 3 is a little too low here, and I like Colorado here to win again at home and in front of a raucous crowd. I'll take them to win by 7. I'll go 31-24. 31-24.
I thought you just picked them to win at the beginning of the show.
What's that?
Nebraska.
No, I said I could see that happening.
Oh, you could see it happen. Okay.
Yeah, I could see it happen.
Yeah, nothing to add here.
Well, you're also taking them to cover.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pick them every week.
Oh yeah, you did. You're right.
Yeah, I'm on Nebraska. Rule is the better coach. Oh my gosh, what did he say? Yeah, he's the better coach. I think he gets his team ready for this. I will say though, Shedeur Sanders made some awesome throws last week.
He did.
He had some really good throws.
And we knew Sean Lewis. That guy is a really good offensive coach. That guy is awesome.
Yeah, I'll give also credit. They were very methodical. As much as they did throw, they took what the defense gave them.
You like seeing Dylan Edwards do what he did?
Whatever. There was actually that did come up. Fortuna was and Samson were
I'm
saying
sure it did.
how good he looked, but then they talked about his speed. They're like, oh, but Jeremiah Love is almost as fast. I was like, whatever, who cares? Yeah, I'm taking Nebraska to win this game outright by 6-30, 24.
All right. Okay. On the road, no less.
Yeah, I know that makes no sense with the way Nebraska's been, but
Yep.
I'm just going to try and revert back to the mean here week 2.
Yep. The only other ranked matchup of the weekend here.
Oh, yes, I forgot to put numbers in here, but Ole Miss traveling to New Orleans and Tulane laying 7.5.
Tulane getting 7.5. Right?
I'm sorry. Yeah, Ole Miss laying 7.5. Tulane surprised me last week. I thought USA was the right side for sure with everything that Tulane lost. Besides their quarterback, who has like one leg now and was still amazing. I think this is too much, though, for just a beat-down team. Not beat-down, but an injured team who's not 100%. I think Tulane is going to be better than we thought, but that'll take a month or maybe just to get right a little bit. I think Ole Miss too much here. And Lane with the weird USC revenge to use as a troll down the line. Ole Miss covers, wins by 13.
I like that.
Tulane show. Oh, good.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, I like that. 2 touchdowns. I think, Lane will do it for his team in his one true team in the Sugar Bowl and their loss. So I'll go with a revenge here. I'll go 21-point victory, 42-21.
I will say we're picking at 7.5.
Yep.
Yeah, I will train by a touchdown. I think if USA is as solid as led to believe, which is not looking to be the case after their last 2 performances, but that's enough for me. And I don't think that Ole Miss is as bad as USC defensively, but I think they'll be able to score. So 38-31, L Train.
38-31. Okay, so we've got 2 of us are on Lane, and only one of us is on Tulane.
Correct.
He.
Also at 3:30, A&M traveling to Miami.
The worst game maybe the worst non-conference game of the year last year.
Oh, this is good.
Oh.
I like Jumbo here, desperate Jumbo. Petrino out there calling a good offensive play, and I like them to handle business here. I've got them going into Miami and winning 31-21. I think this is going to be as much of a statement win as you can get for Jumbo. They'll be gross looking. They'll be gross doing it as well, but
yeah. I can't. I'm taking Miami. I don't know why. I don't know if they were impressive last week. The scoreline looked impressive. But who am I? I didn't watch one
Miami
of that.
Bowl. In the Miami
No
Bowl.
real interest.
Miami Bowl.
Van Dyke, maybe he'll be good again for a month and then not good. But luckily, this is a 1-game scenario, so give me Miami. No interest in either team or this game in general.
Agreed.
This next game, on the other hand.
Wait, Dan, where'd you go?
Yeah, I'm with A&M too. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
This next one, though, yeah, you're right. The Cy-Hawk Trophy. El Assico.
Elastico.
Iowa State. The storylines here, Ken, you got to be loving this. You got
Love it.
dark clouds of gambling and points and contracts with a rivalry on top of
The drive for 325.
a drive. You got just farmers uniting. Like, what are we doing here? I'm sure you got a state fair in the background.
I'm sure.
Rocco Becht is quarterbacking the Iowa State Cyclones. Rocco
That's
Becht.
good.
I'll say that one more time for effect.
Because Hunter Deckers is on gambling suspension, right?
Be sure to check in Saturday morning to Kegs and Eggs quote tweet of the police scanner in Iowa. I'm sure we some.
Oh yeah.
This has got it all. I think I get this game wrong every year because I always pick Iowa State, so I'm just done doing it.
Go against your gut.
I'm gonna go Hawkeyes 19-9.
I love it. I'll go 20-10, Hawkeyes.
All right. I'm going 17-11. 17-11. Iowa wins.
Make sure you get over that 4 points.
Yeah. Now they're gonna try for they're gonna go for 2 to get to 14-11, and then Iowa's gonna put it away with a field goal.
Part of me thinks they're gonna end up at 26, so they can be right on schedule with the 25 a game.
But we are all in agreement here. Okay. Try for 25.
Try for 25. Now we're going to the marquee game of the weekend. Texas, Alabama, Crimson Tide laying 7 at Bryant-Denny Stadium Saturday evening. I mean, Milroe, I guess looked okay. People are mentioning, Bama just kind of getting back to old Bama, run the ball a little bit, play good defense. I don't know who the receivers really are. It's weird. I think Texas just both teams on the 2 deep quarterback stacked, obviously. I don't even know who are you guys even rooting for in this game?
Oh gosh.
I'm rooting for Bama, I think.
Slightly for Texas because I do have them covering. Spoiler alert.
I think I root for Texas too because I know they're more likely to win this game and still fall apart.
Yeah.
I think we're seeing Bama redemption tour this year. I don't think they went in, underestimating Texas last year, but I think they're going to take it personally that they maybe could have, should have. It came very close to losing last year. I think they're going to come out here at home and really try to deliver a message. I'm going to have them winning here comfortably here, 31-21. And
so you think some backdoorage, but from Texas, maybe a couple backdoors. It's 30.
Yeah.
I could see it 31-7 with 13 minutes left in the game, and Quinn Ewers is trying to affix some hair extensions to get the mullet back or something like that.
So I'm going Bama with the cover here.
I like the way you put that with the revenge tour. I don't know if I'm going to go with the tour for the season, but I think for this game, this spot, and I called out Rule over Sanders, so why am I not going to say Saban versus Sark? So, give me Bama covering what Cam said.
All right.
Should be a good one. I hope it's good. I hope it's a good one. In my prediction, I think it should not be a good one, but hope it is. Ooh, these are interesting ones here. Oregon against a wounded animal here, going to Lubbock. I don't know what to feel about this one. How do you think?
I said it earlier. I'm going to try and regress to the mean as much as possible here and stay level-headed. I am taking those points with Texas Tech. I know uninspiring last week, and Oregon put up 81. That kind of makes me like Texas Tech even more. Take the points and play the money line. Tech outright.
Wounded animal. All right.
And don't forget the mega revenge spot here.
Mega revenge.
Yep.
Shuganoff. The Shuganoff.
Shuganoff.
I try to stay within the buy low, sell high parameters early in the season, as so many tend to do. But I just can't stand Mr. Show. They call him Shuck.
The Shucker.
I just can't. I can't pick that guy. So I'll go Oregon only for that reason.
I went back and forth on this. I think if it had been at 7.5, I would take Texas Tech. But the fact that we're picking it here at 7, I'm going to go with a a 38-31 barn burner. It'll be a good one, but I think Oregon will prevail here.
Dan, I don't know if you're privy to this match right now.
I do see that some wheels wobbling.
Yeah,
Wobble.
5-1 is now 5-4
Wobble,
Yep,
baby.
on
Wobble,
serve.
Wobble, baby,
on
wobble.
serve, which, no offense to some out there, not sure what that means in this particular sport, but
Oh yeah, the women's edition. Yes.
it's more just one ahead at that point. Wisconsin, Washington State, out the Palouse, the Cougs catching 6 against this Longo air raid ish.
Yeah.
Not really fine tuned yet. That's enough for me. I'm going Cougars here.
Oh!
Wow.
Also
Ian's
outright.
hometown team. You're going against them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Wisconsin doesn't know who they are. You can't go out to the Cougars.
I'll take the points. I think I could see Fickle winning here by like a field goal. But I will take the points here at home. Late night is 10:30 game, I think, right? Is it a 10:30 game? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go. I don't. Maybe it's not because the Auburn Cal game is a 10:30 game. I don't think all of them will be 10:30. This might be a
Oklahoma
7.
State, Arizona State's late too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Folks, Gundy and Auburn are both 10:30 games, so I don't know if this will be the late one. But yeah, I think it'll be enough. The 6 is enough for them to cover. I'll go hedge P. I'll go hedge P there.
For the first time in a long time, the Longo bias has been reinstated. It was put on hold because he was in the ACC. It's now in play, and they win by 2 touchdowns actually.
Wow!
Wisconsin. So we're painting the map here. We're all over the board, all over the gaff, as they say.
Both winners and an HP. Yep.
All right, now we're into the smorgasbord.
Is this going to be the one word thing, or
firing off? So
Can get ready to write these down.
Round.
Illinois, Kansas laying 3. I know you're worried about Illinois.
I am worried here. I don't think they're that good, but I will pick them because I want
I know.
Big Nude kickoff to be there the next week when I'm there. And I'm going orange tonight. Orange fried.
I'm going Kansas.
I'll go Kansas as well.
Purdue, Va Tech, Hudson Card versus Burmeisters. Purdue, Big Ten here. This is a Big Ten ACC. Give me.
This has got an early.
This is gross. This is gross.
Purdue
here.
outright.
I think Purdue might be rebuilding. I'm going the berm. Bermy.
The Pry.
Feel the berm. Go Pry.
Yep. I will also go Purdue outright, actually. Yikes.
Yikes. UCF, impressive. John Reese Plumlee last week. Very impressive. Boise State got run over by Penix. Boise State catching 3.5 at home. Works for me. Bronco up.
I'm going Malzahn. I'm in Malzahn's office right now, so I'll go with him.
Yeah, I mean, Boise hung with them for a few quarters, I suppose. Or maybe, no, they shut them out in the first quarter, then it was 28-9. So, or maybe it's 28-12. I stand corrected. Oh, man. Malzahn, I can't trust him, though. I'll go Boise. I'll take the points.
SMU, Oklahoma, SMU. Disappointing last week. Thought they were going to score a lot more against La Tech. Didn't happen. Oklahoma scored a lot.
They made Butch cry. Butch was crying.
Is their defense any good? No. SMU scores enough to keep with Oklahoma here. Give me the Stangs.
Yep, me too.
All right, yeah, I'll go 2 touchdown winner. We're all aboard here. All aboard the Pony Excess.
I'm not sure where that game came from, but
not me. But I'm picking Gundy.
no. Talk about up the road from UConn. The first set of the women's semifinal is completed.
Very nice.
set one to Coca.
I'm taking Gundy here in the desert. Arizona.
God, I
getting
do not
3
want to pick
points.
this game.
Oh yeah, Arizona State got by the skin of their
I
teeth
know.
against Southern
I will
Utah.
actively look to avoid what's going on in this game.
I've got Gundy over 6.5 this year, so I'm
Oh my
taking Gundy.
goodness.
All right, I'll root for you in this one. Go
Yeah.
Pokes.
That's the only reason I'll pick them too.
All on Gundy. All right. All right, and I will give my Penn State Delaware preview. Delaware throws the ball a little bit. They've got a guy from New Jersey that was committed to Rutgers before. Now he's down there, a little speedster. Maybe he'll run around a little bit, but I got Penn State winning here. Hopefully they'll be able to get their starters out there. People are nicked up. We got Norzad nicked up already. A couple other guys nicked up. So hopefully they'll be able to get their starters out of there by the end of the or midway through the second quarter. Hopefully it'll be 35-0, something like that. I've got a 56. I'll go 56-7 win. 56-14 win.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, we're not counting these towards the records if we don't have the. So.
No. Yeah. You're talking about your Wofford and Tennessee State games as well.
We did not. Yeah, those are not
did cover last
Steno.
week.
Irish. Yeah, what was it? Irish
Steno.
did. Pitt. It's unclear if they did. I heard 37.5 or 38.5.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, the floor is yours, guys. You've got two rivalries here. I was very disappointed to hear that the toll thing is not making its reemergence this year. It's not coming.
Right.
back.
Yeah, the River City Rivalry Trophy. Do you want me to take it off, or you
Sure.
are first on the sheet here, AY?
I just put it in chronological order. Go ahead.
Okay. No, yeah, I don't know a ton about what Cincinnati has to offer with the coaching change and, frankly, downgrade, I think, is what it seems on the surface level based on both Scott Satterfield and Luke Fickell's resume. These lights keep going out. I've been looking over my head many times. They do have Emory Jones, noteworthy, and that's about all I know about them. They lost over 50% of their defensive production, so I wonder how much toughness went out the door when Luke Fickell left. That's really all I know. Didn't really learn a lot about Pitt, as I said, not the crispest of starts. I don't know how they got to, what are we picking at 8? Which kind of makes me want to pick Pitt because it does stick a bit, but I know better. And we'll see. I will say about the Phil Dracovic in-person experience, it was weird that he seemed very busted and slow.
No.
And then he did eventually score a touchdown, but he had like a 20-yard touchdown run. I said, am I just getting used to his slow speed, or did he actually pick up the pace on that? So it's unclear. So we'll see. Hopefully they win. But I can't lay 8 points. This is still such an unknown quantity of a Pitt team. I would go 23-17 Pitt. Feels right. Don't expect Emory Jones to have like 17 touchdowns again this week.
Well, I see this. This is where I'm a tough spot. 'Cause I'm usually back in Pitt, but this number, this weird little spot, I'm gonna go Pitt by 7 here. I hope Phil's not busted. That's a good upside.
He just had a lot of injuries. That's what I mean by that.
Yeah,
Like
no, he has. Yeah. Been
So
through a lot.
that's why I wasn't too cracked up about him coming, and obviously
Well
not a great end
traveled.
to his. Yes,
Traveled.
I'm gonna go Pitt. I think they just get the run game going,
that's what I'm hoping for. But
and
See.
just kind of salt the game away, grind out a touchdown victory. I didn't watch. I think I watched maybe 7 plays of the Wofford game.
yeah, it wasn't much to see in the first quarter, at least.
Did
And
you
there
watch
were just some decisions.
Hey, what? Do you have a cock login?
Do you? I forget when the game's on. Do you have to get the premium to watch the game?
I don't know. I haven't really looked into
Oh
it.
no, I haven't. Last year when Notre Dame was on the cock, I was at Grosheks. So it's been like 2 years since I did it. I do have Peacock. I have everyone. Peacock's free, but I don't remember if the game
might
is
need
on
the
the
premium,
free
right?
version or the premium version.
Probably the premium.
If it's premium, it's $5,
Yeah.
which I think it probably is. But you get it for a month, and there's like a few movies on there.
Yeah, there's some good content. I think
So
Yellowstone season 4 is on there.
worst case you pay $5 and
Yeah.
just cancel it immediately, and you still have it for the month.
Yep, exactly.
So
Okay, what's your pick?
I'm gonna go with. Let me see here. Where did it go? I lost it.
Irish are on the cock in 2 weeks, so I'll be joining you.
Yeah, I'll give you my login. I'll take the 7 points here.
It's 8, even better.
That's what I'm saying. I'll take the 8 points. Sorry, I'll take a 7-point win for Pitt.
Yeah, this is it's one of those weird games. I feel like just since he's just gonna just really muck it up.
Yeah,
I wouldn't like their chances if Fickle were still there. I'll say that.
yeah.
But not exactly rave reviews for Satterfield's
No, definitely not.
tenure.
Wait, so you got them covering, man?
No,
So
I've winning by
nobody's got them
6,
covered.
23-17. Now somebody probably should have just taken the plunge because it is oddly high.
Yes, it is oddly high.
I'll stick to my Pitt formula, which is they have to be laying pretty short points as a favorite against the living, breathing team.
Yep.
For me to pick them.
All right, AY, you've got Sam, the Heartman's mortal enemy here, the NC State Pac-Man. The Pac-Man intercepted how many times? Like 6 or 7 times in his career.
Yeah.
It is a weird wrinkle.
Let's do one of the, some of those movies they start at the end and then like we'll go kind of Memento, but we're not going to go backwards and forwards at the same time. So that's kind of bad. We'll start at the end and then we'll go to the beginning. Notre Dame wins this game by 2 touchdowns. So let's get that out of the way.
Okay.
All right.
Is it stinky? Sure, especially because since you did bring it up on, was it Sunday or Monday, Cam, about why should we not basically bet the farm on this?
Yeah.
That's not great considering I think 85% of public money is on Notre Dame here.
Yep.
Which you take with a little bit of grain of salt because usually, if you look at the Cowboys, Chiefs, Notre Dame, like Georgia, teams like that, they're usually the public side anyways, but 85 is still a lot. Hartman with the picks in the past and all that, I think that's just what it is. It's in the past. Different personnel for him.
Different team, different playbook.
Different team, different everything. But the one constant is the same defense, the scheme and all that. Dorn. I kind of think that's advantage Hartman. He knows what to expect. He's seen it a bunch of times. He can sit there with Parker and say, can watch their previous games. Look, he's been locked in, but again, Navy, Tennessee State. So not take a ton from there. The line will be tested a little more. They apparently are high on their D line. I know it wasn't great against the UConn. And listen to the one NC State guy saying they are very aggressive and blind to things and kind of see ball, get ball. So a bit of deception could go a long way here, apparently. I'm sure they're probably a big player too for their defense, but I think that will also mean a big player too for Notre Dame's offense. And they're just in a good rhythm right now. Again, 2 layups, but still, you got a rhythm going. Line looks good. And defensively, where's Notre Dame? Don't really know. So we're going to find out a lot here this weekend. Astrong, kind of like Notre Dame, not great receivers, but he can run a little bit. He looks to run more than he should probably. That's why he'll be hurt in mid-October. He'll hit a big player too. It's going to happen. But I think Notre Dame just kind of does what they've done, no offense, Dan, to ACC in the regular season. They kind of just wear them down. They've done it to how many straight opponents in the ACC? They just out-physical in the line of scrimmage. and wear them down. And I think that's what they'll do with Estime in the running game. And Hartman just looks so in control. We'll see if that continues against a proper defense. But yeah, Notre Dame 30. I don't love the kicking game. We'll give him a field goal. Let's give him 36 to 33-20. There you go. 33-20 Notre Dame.
I like that. I did not like what I saw, and you don't want to overreact off of week one.
I thought you were going to talk about Can was bitching about NC State against Con.
Yeah. You don't want to overreact off of that, but that was putrid to watch. I think they probably held a lot of stuff back and were focused on this
you
game.
hope so for them, yeah.
Yeah, you hope so for them. I give them the benefit of the doubt there. Doran's not a half bad coach, but he looked very bad against Con. I think they had been holding some stuff back and had an eye towards this game. So, I think they'll keep it close. It'll be a good game for a while, for a little bit. But, I'll go 10-point victory at the end for you guys, for the good guys in the form of AY's good guys. I'll go like 34-24.
So I haven't said anything all week. I think this is of the weird game candidates we have, which we discussed a couple of them earlier. This is, I think, the one that could get weird. I don't know what it is. It's not necessarily NC State and Notre Dame, but they tend to suck these teams in. It feels every year. I think Irish win by a touchdown in overtime, 31-24.
I like it.
Do not get there. So, here's an undiscussed storyline. I don't know if you'll hear about. Astrong never got his crack at the Irish a couple years ago. If you remember, they had backup.
He did not. It was a late scratch.
And you know what? They played him against Pitt the next week, which pissed me off, and it didn't ultimately matter because Pitt won. But I was not happy about that gutless approach. No, I'm kidding. It was a smart thing to do by Bronco.
Mm-hmm. No, it could definitely get weird.
How much more?
We've seen what NC State has done in recent years to teams at home. This game's at noon, so it might have a little different vibe, but still, I mean, they're definitely going to be up for this. Notre Dame in the recent past has taken these ACC road trips very seriously and executed very nicely. So we'll see if that continues.
And I know with when it comes to the Hartman, I haven't really touched on it yet because what's the point of me, throwing this out there even? But and maybe it's just from how he played in the second half of that championship game that we were at. We had boots on the ground for whatever reason, and I know he's been through stuff. Obviously, he had to be out beginning of last season. He's been through everything because of how long he's been playing college football. But I don't know. Maybe it's because he's so handsome that it just irks me. I can't get fully on board with him. So we'll see. He'll probably shut me up if I had to guess. But that was my gut instinct, and I'm going to stick with it for this particular week. This is the one. Yeah. This is the weird one. This also we didn't mention, but Utah Baylor, my Baylor Bears, who I picked. I believe I have to go back and check. We didn't steno the conference.
Oh yeah, we don't have this Utah Baylor game.
But I believe I picked Baylor to win the Big 12, and they went down to Jake Spavital led Texas State.
Oh, I heard his name. He's the OC somewhere.
Yeah, but no, they got we talked about it last week. They've got GJ Kinney.
Forget where he landed.
Nice win for the Bobcats.
My last two notes. One would be, I guess I'll wrap up Notre Dame with the Notre Dame community wants a good quarterback so badly that they're loving the first two games, but they're also trying to temper it with, oh, but look who was.
Yeah.
If this goes well, then I really think it's going to go into overdrive.
I mean, Notre Dame could be number 5 very soon, I feel like.
I sent a text.
Well, yeah.
I sent a text, I think, Saturday night. I go, so are we going to be number 1 Tuesday?
Oh man.
And two, the other note is Northwestern's a home underdog to UTEP.
Yes,
Yeah,
UTEP. That was one of my finalists for the locks of the week.
Yeah. So
It was Baylor +8. It was UTEP -1.5. UTEP, who lost to Rich Rod in his inaugural FBS game, is
Incredible.
his favorite.
I'm also not sure what's going on here with security in the stands, but it's been about 10 minutes now.
Okay, because I saw it said an injury break on the app, but nobody's taking a medical.
There was a medical. Mukova was getting worked on her leg, but at the same time, there's been all kinds of fuss in the upper deck with security and cameras up there. So I have no idea what's going on. I have it on mute, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we did.
Speaking of locks, though.
Yeah,
and they are taking the court now, Dan. So speaking of locks, where are we going?
I'm going. I got absolutely spanked with our dueling locks last week. AY. I'm here back for revenge, and I'm taking Saban. I'm going back to the well. I think he'll, like I said, it'll be a comfortable cover here for him at home, sending a message. They're for real this year, and people should not have discounted them if they ever did.
I love doing it. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to Syracuse. One of the more puzzling spreads you'll see.
24
to an FBS team, Syracuse. That is insane. I don't know if half the Western Michigan team has the measles or what, but they have been responsible going back to last year. Syracuse. They obviously got off were they 6-0 and then they lost that game at Clemson in close game or whatever. They were up. They had the lead. I don't know how close it ended up being, but so Dino with the second win. I think it continues in the form of a 35-7 or 35-10 maybe defeat of the Western Michigan. The bane of my existence, the Western Michigan Broncos. So maybe that's motivating.
What the? Now Mukova's leaving the court with her bag.
You got to turn the volume on.
Oh my! What the frick is going on here? And Coco's talking to. I don't know. This is wild. So you're on the Broncos. Can's on the Crimson Tide.
No, I'm on the Qs.
He's on the Qs. He's too big to be. He's too big to pass up here. It's too smelly.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
I think we're gonna. All right, so I'll take it in my head here. I want to go JMU. I'm not though, out of respect for UVA.
Respect earned.
Respect earned. UMass is getting 7 at home to Miami, Ohio.
That was one
That's weird.
Yep.
Liberty was laying 10 to New Mexico State, who lost by 35 to New Mexico State.
I'm taking. I bet them, but the line's gone down from 12.5 down to 10.
Well, that's still a 45-point swing from the final score 6 months ago. Or 9 months ago. That's wild to me. Avoiding the UTEP Northwestern. I am going. Let me just get the exact number here. Back to the well, kind of. Dan, who were you on last week?
Sam Houston.
Yeah, because I'm on him this week.
Oh, all right.
Sam Houston.
Lots of love. Who do they play this? I don't even know who they play.
Home to Ass Force.
Oh, the home dog of the week.
So last week, Sam Houston lost 14-0. Not great. They covered though.
That was against Keaton Slovis, which I didn't, out of respect, I didn't put that in my preview.
Out of respect, yeah. Defense was pretty solid. Their whole team pretty much redshirted last year to get ready for the transition year. So that was their first game action in 18 months.
Well,
sure.
Did they redshirt with the 4 games or?
Maybe they played the 4 games.
Yeah,
but
did they do
staggered them throughout? You get the first 4.
Did they do the Daner tanking?
They basically tanked. They basically tossed last year in preparation
Yep.
for this year.
Yep.
So I'm gonna. The defense was fine. I'll give him a pass here, but I'm getting 13 and a half. Home Air Force. Give me the Bearcats. Sam Houston State.
Eat 'em up, Cats.
What was this? What was the spread?
13 and a half. Like if anything, Air Force is gonna get 6 possessions. So
Yeah.
you gotta think it's gonna be somewhat close.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
I like it.
I did too. We got NFL starting. What time does that start?
Right now.
Just about now, yeah. Oh,
Okay. Both players left the court in this match. So I don't know what's going on, Dan.
Roth said did not foresee the climate change stoppage, whatever that means.
Oh, it says there's rain going on up there.
Oh.
Oh, maybe they're
Okay.
putting the roof over.
Oh yeah.
That was probably why Mukova, she was supposed to serve. She's like, I'm not fucking serving this rain. Just put the roof
Mhm.
on.
No, I don't see any over here in Jersey.
Up.
I also don't see any over there. At least in the forecast. But bring us home, AY.
Yeah, bring us home.
There you have it. For me, AY from Newell State Capital Blue State, the Commonwealth, Pennsylvania. To my west, Deberg.
Good night, all.
And to Ken, to my east.
Good night, all.
Thank you for listening. Enjoy week 2. We'll see you back next week for week 3. Take care and have a good one.